Hey guys, Bearded Viking Gamer here, and today I want to do a walkthrough of the game room as I have it right now. Before I do any other changes and stuff in here, kind of give you guys a glimpse of what's going on, what I have in here, things like that. Give you guys a little sightseeing on some of the stuff that you don't normally see. You normally see this back wall here, so I want to run you through some of the other stuff in this room and show you guys some goodies. Let's do this. Alright guys, so we're entering into the game room here. This isn't what I have the first thing on here. It just reminds me, this is my favorite console here. The Super Nintendo. This is me getting it for Christmas. My brother and I opening up the Super Nintendo. Of course, man, I'm missing all my teeth and stuff. Got that huge gap right between my teeth. Oh my god, look at that. Sim City. Alright, so we're going to move on to here. This is the back wall that you normally see of games and things. And what I have up here is I have the full Grand Theft Auto Vice City soundtrack CDs and stuff in there, like a Nintendo Labo kit, stuff like that. Some of the stuff that's a little too big and oversized to kind of fit anywhere, I kind of put on here. Of course, a couple of these little Yoshis, they always just look cool, panning in and looking cool on the shelves. But you know, your box 3DS XL in there, the GameCube Metroid Prime bundle. The PlayStation Classic right there. This was a collector's edition Elix, the PS4 collector's edition, and it does have that whole figure and stuff in there. Mario Easter egg. We got some Game Boy Color boxed. Some Power Glove boxed in here. Another little figure bomb. And here was a boxed Atari 2600. And we got a little boxed Xbox controller up there. And Guitar Hero Live. You guys have seen some of this stuff in some of the collection videos. And the way I did it here on this back wall is I did kind of by system in set here. So we were looking at Nintendo games on this first row here. Of course, I threw in a couple boxes in between here because the gapping just didn't line up, so this looks really neat. And this right here in the bubble, this is Castlevania Overflow of Darkness. I have a couple repros and stuff in here of games that like I love, and like here's Ninja Gaiden. This is somebody did a hack on it, and gosh, it's fun, man. It makes the whole game completely different. So you're starting off going the wrong direction. It's just really cool. I love that kind of stuff. River City Ransom is a good one in there. Some of the Contras, of course, Mega Mans, all the Castlevanias here. Yeah, so I just kind of moved them through. You got Strider. Gosh, you guys remember this movie from the 80s? Boom, Willow. And of course, DuckTales in there. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in here. This was the one I found at a pawn shop here. A little repro somebody made. Earthbound Anniversary Edition. Kind of cool for the NES. Another one right here. This was Mega Man Reloaded. These are fun, guys. Same one right here. I don't know if you guys have seen this. This is Metroid Dark Alliance. Just a lot of fun stuff to go through if other fans have made. Kind of jump through some more on the NES stuff here. Rygar, RC Pro-Am. Man, a lot of good stuff in there. Old rental case. This was Adventures of Bio Billy. Pretty cool because the instructions are on the inside of there. That's what they give them to you when they rented them out. Arkanoid. Yeah, a whole bunch of cool stuff. A couple different variations of Kari Warriors and things like that in here. Karate Kid. Lethal Weapon. Legacy of the Wizard. Some fun ones in here. I love this game. This is such a fun game, and then the artwork is freaking cool. Crystallis. If you guys have never played that, try to get that one. That one's awesome. It's not very expensive either. Very good game. Artwork on it's just cool. That's what sold me on it. We got, you know, some Game Genies here, and this is, I believe, this is Spy vs. Spy. This was one of my favorites when I was little. Loved planning all the different traps and booby traps and things, and getting everybody else hit with it. It was awesome. And then I ran out of room on that one side, so I came back down over here and hit some more NES stuff here. And we got, you know, Just a couple other stuff in here, Load Runner, things like that. And this was some of the boxed things here. This was Ninja Gaiden Trilogy here on the in the box. Mario Kart, things like that. Castlevania, Dracula X. All the Donkey Kong countries. Just awesome games. Those games are, man, incredible. I love it. And I move right into my Super Nintendo loose cart stuff. And like I said, there's behind these little Mario guys here. So I got Evo right here. This was a fun one, transforming. But yeah, you got whole games piled into the back here, and it just kind of goes back a little bit. But yes, this was my favorite system here. I love this one. Secret of Mana, gosh, it was such a good one. Turtles in Time, I mean, come on. These games are awesome. Sunset Riders, Chrono Trigger. Man, it's just some good stuff in here. This one's kind of a messed up label on it, but this was Super Mario RPG, Legend of the Seven Stars, Yoshi's Island, Soul Blazer, Super Buster Brothers. You know, I just love it all. Of course, you can't go wrong with Link to the Past. You move over to here, you got some more. Now these are neat. I'm a huge fan of Zombies Ate My Neighbors here, and then each time I hit up, there's a buddy of mine at the expos. He always hits me up and has a new version for me, and this is Oh No, More Zombies Ate My Neighbors, and just 55 more levels. Same graphics and everything. It's awesome. And then here's the newest one. This is Zombies Ate My Neighbors Doomsday. And these are cool. He does them on a green cart for me. And of course, green and the red cart for Doom. I just think that looks cool sitting there on the shelf, so I like to always put those together. This is a cool one here. Blackthorn, if you guys haven't played that. That is a Blizzard before they did a whole bunch of stuff, Interplay and Blizzard and all that. This is awesome. This game is really cool. Blackthorn. Alright, then we're going to bump us down here. There was still some more NES stuff that I couldn't fit in there, so there's a couple leftovers here. And now we're moving into some of the loose cart and box stuff for the Sega Master System, like we have Outrun and things like that in here. Cyborg Hunter, Phantasy Star, of course. This is what started it all, man. Whew, man, this was an awesome game. The Double Dragon on the Master System. Golvelius is another cool RPG style. Ease, that was the first there. Man, it's come a long way. Rambo, I've always wanted this when I was little. There was a place that was called Service Merchandise out by a skating rink that we had out here, and I always saw this in the counter and always wanted it, but I never ever got it when I was little, so I'm happy to have it in there now. And that's a small little collection there for the Master System, but we're moving into some of the Sega Genesis stuff here. Of course, Judge Dredd, things like that. Haunting. This is where you jump into a whole bunch of different like clocks and couches and everything and try to scare the neighbors to get them to move out or whatever. It's awesome. Strider. And here's this just loose cartridge Genesis stuff, and it does go go back there. We have Resident Evil here in the complete in box. Resident Evil 2 for the Nintendo 64. And I can't find a real nice way to do the 64 stuff yet. I know that there's end labels and stuff you can get to put on here so you can see which ones it is. I haven't found a nice way to do it yet, but I'm still looking. So you guys have any ideas, hit me down in the comments below. Let me know. Let me know what you think. What I should do with these 64 stuff, because they are double stacked high in here and they're going to go back. I love it, and it's such a fun little system. We got a small little section here of Sega Saturn stuff. And D, of course, was such a cool one on there. And if you guys have a Sega Saturn, you need to get one of these. This is the action replay carts for that lets you do the Japanese import games. So you can play any Japanese import on the Sega Saturn by just putting this cartridge in the back. And of course, I keep the Saturn with that in there at all times. Here's loose Sega CD games. Of course, there's like the 6-pack or whatever. And you get into here's Dungeon Master 2. My favorite, I used to play with my brother all the time, was Dungeon Master, and that was on the Super Nintendo. Here's Dungeon Master 2. Of course, Dune, if you guys remember that movie. A whole bunch of stuff. The Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, things like that. Cliffhanger, gosh, such a hard game. Space Ace, same people who did Dragon Slayer. Yeah, just some cool stuff, man. This is a cheeseball one. Corey Haines, I believe, in it, and oh man, a couple other well-known actors in this game, but so cheesy. Double Switch. All right, now we're going to move down into here. Here's a couple of loose, well, these are complete in box, Yoshi's Island and things like that, and Super Mario Advanced. And we move right into PlayStation 1. And we have Clock Tower 2, things like that in here. Tenchu, some good stuff in here. I always love the PlayStation 1, had a lot of stuff. I love the Duke Nukems and the Dino Crises, Chrono Cross school RPGs, you know, like that. Alone in the Dark, loved it. Both the Parasite Eves, man, such fun titles there. This is a cool one if you don't see it too often here. This is City of Lost Children. It's not the greatest game in the world, but freaking fun, super fun. I always like the Alone in the Darks type stuff and the cartoonish looking graphics. Like here's Broken Sword. This does the same type thing where it's got that look to it and just cartoonish, and I love that. All of the Final Fantasies, of course. And I'm a huge fan of Doom, so any of the Doom type shooters, Hexen, anything like that. Doom, Final Doom, all of them. Love all those. Fear Effect was a good little series. Castlevania Chronicles. Of course, Symphony of the Night, and some people claim that to be the best there is. And there's some shooter games in here too with the gun. Crypt Killer, things like that. Lethal Enforcers 1 and 2. I don't know if you guys ever remember playing that in the arcades. Lethal Enforcers was a fun one. Yeah, Suikoden, a whole bunch of stuff in here. Wing Commander, Overblood, a couple Vita things that were just freebies, kind of. Some Dreamcast stuff here. You got Shenmue, Blue Stinger, Zombie Revenge, Resident Evil Code Veronica, things like that. We jump into kind of some PlayStation 2 stuff, and there's just a lot of PlayStation 2. Of course, I'm a huge fan of any of the Baldur's Gates or the Champions of Norath. Return to Arms with the second. 1 and 2 of the Baldur's Gate Dark Alliances. Man, excellent games. Clock Tower 3. This was a survival horror type disaster report. All the Fatal Frames, things like that. Ease. There's a couple of these, like this one's still sealed completely. This one as well, another RPG sealed. Radiana Stories, sealed in there. Whole bunch of stuff. I'm going to jump through, and then this is what I always do when I had a game, you know, even a cheapie that didn't have anything. I would have my kids draw a cover on it, and they would write, you know, what it is, and I'd flip them around, and I'd be like, okay, right on the spine so I can tell what it is. And that's what I do, just to have the kids do a couple of their little touches in here. I love that. Of course, the God of Wars. And that's another shelf there. And you come down here. Got a whole other one, some Metal Gear, X-Men, things like that. SOCOM, those were fun games. Devil May Cry set, Metal Gear, the Essentials. SOCOM with the headset and things like that where you can control your team. Ico, Escape from Monkey Island, a little comedy, Capcom Classics. This is a little Rockstar game, if you guys have ever seen the movie. The Warriors, loved it. Of course, the Katamari Damacy's, things like that. Alien Hominid. So, I love the Tenchu type stuff. Alright, we'll just keep. There's a lot of PlayStation 2 stuff here, guys. Red Star, this is a fun one. Man, some sports stuff right there. Now we're going to jump into, well, there's a little bit more PS2 things there. Now we're into original Xbox, and there's quite a bit here, too. Yeah. Kung Fu Chaos, good multiplayer. Always had a lot of fun with that. Destroy All Humans, Manhunt. I think that got banned in one of the countries. I can't remember. I thought it was so violent that they banned it. But yeah, we got some more original Xbox. Call of Cthulhu, Jade Empire, Cold Fear. Cool stuff on there. Oddworld, Munch's Odyssey, Painkiller. And here is a, let's see if I can pull this in here for you. This is I believe a Game Boy Color. This is the Pokemon Game Boy Color. Keep it in this little case here. Let's see, let's go down to the next shelf here. You got some GameCube titles. I love Eternal Darkness, man. That game messes with you. I love the way that they did that. So fun. Metroid, Mario Parties, all the Resident Evils. Just a huge fan of that stuff, so I love it. Jumping into some PlayStation 3 stuff here. Ninja Gaiden. Those are some rough games, man. Yeah. Down into some Wii titles. I love this the Wii. Wii has some good Zelda stuff on it too. The Punch Out on Wii is fantastic, guys. If you guys don't have that, be on the lookout for that. Did an awesome job with it. Alright, let's move down to the next one. Down to some more Super Mario Galaxies 1 and 2 there. There's a whole bunch of stuff. Dragon Quest, Skyward Sword, Tenchu. Now we're down into the Xbox 360. And of course, a lot of Assassin's Creed stuff, and he's hiding in there, ready to jump out and get you. More Xbox 360 stuff. Brutal Legends, little Jack Black action. Game's awesome. Soundtrack on it's amazing too. Got some Black Sabbath and stuff in there. Really cool. Alright. Now we're down to the next row here. Is the Xbox 360 stuff here. Got a little bit of movement room there to adjust some stuff around. Got some Wii U titles here. Let me angle this up here. There we go. Yeah. Really cool little dock kit for him. We're down into some Switch stuff here. And man, there's a lot of good stuff on the Switch. I love the indie titles people are bringing out here. Really, really fun. As far as the Xbox One, I don't have much, because a lot of the stuff was on the PS4, and a lot of the other titles that the Xbox just didn't have. So I mostly went a lot of PS4 stuff. Here we got a box Pitfall for the Intellivision, and some 2600 cartridges there for the Atari. And over here we have, of course, some frames and things of Link and an E3 thing from when I did E3. This is a Starbright. I did a video, I think it was my second video I ever did on the YouTube channel. Talked about this GameCube kiosk. And this was for sick kids in hospitals. You can see here it's the fun center, and has all the controls. The controllers actually hang on the back here, where Mario's hands kicking. But such a cool thing. You can roll this around, plug it into anywhere. And this was for sick kids could play in their hospital rooms, and they could bring it to them so they could still play their games when they're, healing from cancer or whichever. Really cool that Nintendo partnered with them to do it. This is my little board I use to hold all my old passwords for games. I love that. Mega Man, things like that. And it has the cheat sheet from all my switches for my gaming systems. Here's my axe. Whenever I do a collections video, I always hold the axe in the picture. And this is my God of War axe. You can actually see inlays on the handle and things. Really cool. Love it. Only that one doesn't come back when you throw it. Alright, now we're moving on into some of the Zelda type stuff. This is a new pickup here. Matching stool my wife got me for Christmas. Mortal Kombat 1-Up Arcade with the stand that matches the system too. It's freaking awesome. This whole arcade's pretty cool. Light up. It's freaking so fun. You got a whole bunch of Zelda pictures and things like that. Here's a little light there. I got Mario sitting up on top of here. And in this here I have a lot of plushes and collectible things that are, to me, I love to always look in here and be reminded of things like this was Charles Martinet signing his first Super Mario 64 complete inbox, and he signed it there. Your number one, your pal Mario. Things like that. I have a lot of just small, little itty bitty collectible pieces in here. I have Jen Taylor, of course, over there. Signed some stuff. Master Chief, Steve Dowles. He signed. He's the one that plays Master Chief, and he signed that pop there. It's freaking cool. He says, "I need a weapon." And she is Jen Taylor is the Cortana there. Let's see here. We have Patricia Somerset down here signing my Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild there. It's cool she put some Hyrule characters in there. I know it's kind of dark down here. You guys can't really see it. But, of course, I have Joel. Troy Baker signed that. And Greg Bricks, the guy who plays the father in Far Cry 5, I had him sign that copy there. It's freaking just neat. I love it. And of course, he signed a picture there back there for me. It's Adam they are creeping towards the edge is what he wrote to me for the father. It's freaking cool. Of course, some Zelda stuff in here. Just love it. Back here are some collectible pieces here. Got a couple of Holy Diver. There's only 1,000 of them with the white cartridge that they printed, and I think I have number 200 and something out of that 1,000 that ever got printed. So it's cool. And I have a couple other R-type ones too that are in that same thing. Only 1,000 of them made with a special blue cartridge, and I have, I don't remember, I think number 300 and something or so with that. And then of course this is an actual RC car. This is the Nomad in the Mass Effect games. This is where you cruise around in, but this is actually a RC car with a camera and everything. The lights actually come on and everything, and you can drive it around with your phone. Pretty freaking awesome. It was for the collector's edition set. If you were able to get that, you could get the car and stuff with it. It's just pretty awesome. Alright, now we kind of pan back here. This is the wall that I'm always looking at when I'm talking to you guys. This is what I'm facing and looking at. And I did a little set here to kind of hold up all of the Sega Game Gear games and some of the Game Boy stuff in here. And just fun, of course. The Castlevania games and Donkey Kong, Ninja Gaiden Shadow, things like that. Of course, the Zelda type stuff. Super Mario. Pan back here, I'll show you guys. This is my work table here. I normally have any of the pickups and things kind of sit on here, and I clean games and stuff on here. But I actually found this on the side of the road and took it home and sanded it all down. It was in very rough shape. Sanded it all down, put a restain on it, and what's cool about these drawers is they all pop out underneath the glass. It's freaking awesome. Just works perfect for my gaming stuff. I can go right in here, slide everything back in. Same thing on this other side. I have gaming magazines and things like that, and it just works out perfect. Same thing, you can just slide any of it out. It's just awesome. And then here's some of the console stuff in here. Kind of pan it around. I got a whole bunch of stuff in here. Of course, little Switch, Dreamcast, PlayStation 3, GameCube, Nintendo, the Xbox, Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64. Some cleaning products and things from a disc cleaner right here that I use to clean some of the disc-based games if they're really messed up. And I use these switchers here, toggle all between. This is just an AV switcher for all the AV consoles. I toggle in between them so I can run them all on to either a tube TV like this or a HD TV like this. So they're all kind of just linked into different ones. Here's the Xbox 360 over here. I have an HDMI switcher right there on top, and right below it, the one that says 8, is another AV switcher, so you can run them, all these different systems together. Wii U, PlayStation 2, you can run all the other PlayStation games on there. It's pretty fun. The Wii U pad here. This is the Sega Genesis that would attach to the Sega CD down there. Of course, we got a Sega Saturn. Here's some gaming books. Of course, I like to always run incense and stuff in the game room. It reminds me of, you know, early 90s, things like that. I love those old stores where they had that scent and smell. This is an old Nintendo bag, carry your system and stuff. Master System down there. Here's a whole bunch of boxed systems and things like that, just kind of in a pile. I have, you know, light guns and things like that too. And in here I'm running, this is another Game Gear blue version, and then of course a couple different Game Boy Colors, some 3DSs, DSs, and here's you know, drawers where I use a lot of my controllers and things. So, you know, Nintendo, and it goes back there pretty deep. See if I can pull it out some more for you. Some Nintendo controllers, more Nintendo controllers and Super Nintendo. We have Nintendo 64 stuff, 360 and Dreamcast things that go all the way back there. Sega Saturn controllers, PlayStation 2, quite a bit more GameCube and Sega Genesis and things like that. And we pan in here. This is a buddy of mine made this custom for me. This is, he knows I love Doom, and he drew this. This is freaking amazing. Look at the detail even in the D. I don't know if that even comes through with all the glare, but he drew it all in the spines being blown out. It's freaking awesome. He did his own take on a Doom cover, and he's like, are you cool if I do my own thing on it? And I said, sure. And this is what he came up with. It just looks amazing. I love that. The spine being blown out the back. It just looks freaking awesome. He did that for the game room here. Chris, I appreciate that so much. You rock, brother. And then, of course, we got some, these things are really cool. These are, of course, the little old version links, but they're lights. And I love these things. They're just awesome. Set up on here. We got some Nintendo DS stuff on this side. You know, quite a mess of stuff in here. But I love it, you know. The old Zelda TV show, sealed still on the DVD there. My little boy made a little NES. He's got a little cartridge and stuff in here. Love it. And he makes all these little things for it. And some 3DS stuff in here. Another 3DS here. Nintendo 64 bag. It's got some stuff in it. And some of these have other consoles and things in these. Another Game Gear down here. Some more light stuff. These are all little lights here, guys. I did some giveaways before. I did a giveaway on one of these for some subscribers and things, and here's one sitting right here. Here's another Game Boy. This is the Minish Cap, of course, complete in box. And there's a couple more of those Pixel Pals that you saw up there that light up, and there's Mario and Luigi and things like that down here. There's a couple more pops down here. Final Fantasy VII Cup, that was from my E3 experience in there. Little things like that, I love that kind of stuff. This is just a little controller for the Switch. So I love having just little wireless controllers there for the Switch. We're going to move on up to here. Here we got the Famicom boxed, the little mini Famicom. Of course, Genesis Mini. These are all little mini editions of things. And NES Mini, Super Nintendo Mini, a little Barbie Super Mario. Kind of crazy that's going that route. Now we move on to the last little bit here on this side of the room. And this is the PlayStation 4 stuff. There is just a lot. Real close to 400 titles here, guys. There's a lot of games here. People love that PlayStation 4 collection video. And man, this is just, there's a lot to look at here. So I won't be naming all these titles. I'm just going to kind of just zoom through some of this stuff here, and you guys pick out some of the stuff that you liked playing or stuff that you remember seeing. Dragon's Age, that was a fun one when that came out. This one's, most of them are in alphabetical order. You start to see ones up on top here that haven't been categorized, but most of them are in alphabetical order on here from what I have. A lot of the Lego stuff here coming down. Let's go down some more. There's just a lot of stuff here. I need to redo another PlayStation 4 collection video, because I think when I did it, it was 300 titles or so, and I think we're pushing 4 now. So Outlast, it's a fun one. Outer Worlds I'm playing at right now. I just absolutely love that. It's a Fallout style. Yeah. A lot of the Resident Evils. Secret of Mana. Shantae. Oh, cool. Tom Clancy type things. Trover in the universe, saves the universe. And then one last little section here. Kind of hard for me to get down here and show you guys these, but really good stuff in here, guys. Alright. Again, here's a look around of the room. Alright. And there you have it, guys. That's a glimpse into Bearded Viking Gamer's game room. I love showing you guys this type of stuff.